On this episode of Mike Crispy Unafraid, a big day for the future of America. All eyes on the state of Wisconsin. They have a big election today, ballot questions, Supreme Court judge vote. We are going to break it down. And speaking of judges, the activist judges continue to legislate from the bench. What does that mean? Why are they doing it? What is going on with this phenomenon? And how are people on our side fighting back against it? I got a couple ideas that haven't quite been implemented yet. I want to welcome everybody to this very special edition of the show today. It is Tuesday, Tuned Up Tuesday, April 1st, and no joke. You remember about it? No joke, no joke. We got a big show for you today. No joke, April Fool's Day. So I need you to rumble this video, and I need you to get the show to the bottom of the leaderboards. Just kidding, that's April Fool's. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna have a great episode. That's not an April Fool's. So I'm ready. Producer Frankie's ready. You better be too, and let's go. Hello, everybody. Mike Crispy here, coming to you live from New York on this Tuesday, April 1st. And I am joined in studio by a very serious man. There's never anything foolish or fooling about him. He's a worker getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, working, grinding for the people to give them this beautiful audio, visual, acoustically pleasing production. Producer Frankie, how you doing?
You know, Mike, I'm fantastic. I drove out. Got to see my boy, Mike. He was sleeping, but, I was close enough. I could have, technically, it's like I could have killed this man. He never would have woke up. Didn't even hear me. Didn't hear me go. Come, go.
Robbed the place. Well, so if people are not understanding what's going on, is that, Frankie today came to the studio to install, some sound panels early in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So he's an Iron Man. Yes, we appreciate him. And I didn't wake up for it, okay? But
yes,
I got to work.
I do have a link.
I got a lot of things to do today. I got to go. Yeah.
I have this link on eBay. It's these beautiful Trump shoes. They're very expensive, but I got them for cheap. All right. They're going to be up. I'm going to put them up on the group chat. And you guys could buy Crispy's shoes that I stole earlier this morning.
You stole a pair of shoes from me?
Yeah, the Trump shoes. You didn't see?
Unbelievable.
They're very expensive. I thought you'd notice.
You stole the Trump shoes?
No, Mike.
What? No, Frankie didn't do that.
April Fool's.
I do have, yes, Frankie was in my head. Oh, wow. Got him. So, okay. So the Trump shoes, it's because they're like those gold Trump shoes. Like there's 400 pairs that were made in like the whole entire world. And it was the first 400. Now they have like other versions of it, but like the original gold shoes. Do you know that Mike Crispy has one of the original 400 pairs of the gold Trump shoes, which they say is now valued at $10,000. I bought it for like $1,500 on like the initial thing. I knew a guy who knew a guy. They say they're now valued at $10,000 because they never came out with another version of the first version. So yeah, that's how much I trust Frankie's in my house. Okay, he's setting some things up here with some sound panels. And, that's how much I love you, Frankie, is that I didn't even think twice that you'd steal my $10,000 shoes.
It's a beautiful investment, I will say.
That's more money than we make in 3 years. That's more money than we make 3 years of podcasting. Just kidding. So support this show and support our sponsors, please. So that's not a joke. All right, we got a big show. We're going to get on track here. Obviously, a lot of people are talking and buzzing. I'll start the show with this. Real America's Voice TV. This Saturday, 8 o'clock p.m., and then airing again on Sunday. I'm looking at the schedule. Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Last Call with Mike Crispy. You guys remember Last Call? We were kind of piloting it and doing it a little bit on Rumble. It was a lot of fun. We're going to have a little bit of a moderation of that. We'll call it a made-for-TV moderation. But the concept of Last Call reigns supreme, okay? It's a weekend, relaxed feel. Frankie and I are going through the stories. We're having fun. We're going to bring on some panelists to talk. We're going to bring on our friends. We're not going to bring on the stuffy people who go, well, I'm doing this. No, we want people who are entertaining and funny. People who are my friends, okay? I'm a very popular guy in this, political ecosphere. I got a lot of friends. I like to think my friends are like, the more normal, entertaining, like cooler people in political media. There's a lot of fucking weirdos. So I got the good people.
There are some weirdos.
and we're gonna bring them on. And there are some weirdos. Like people, even some people who like they turn the camera on and like they're like semi-normal, but like when the camera's off, they're weirdos. So we're gonna have the normal people on, the people that I like and that Frankie likes, and Vintage Alyssa,
Of course.
you gotta have Kevin on.
Of
Maybe.
course.
Yeah, no, we'll have Kevin on. So, yeah, so last call, Real America's Voice, Saturdays at 8 o'clock, and then airing again on Sundays at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a really cool show. We're really excited about it. We've been working with the RAV people. I'm going to be on RAV all week on different types of shows, making little pop-up appearances. On Friday, I'm going to be live in the studio. Frankie, you should come. I don't know what you're doing Friday night, but I'm going to go to the America First Warehouse where Studio 6B is. Studio 6B.
You're in
They do
my
that
neighborhood.
big show.
I'll come. Happy
Yeah,
to.
so I'm gonna go out to the studio and do the show with them because I do watch the show. They do seem like a lot of fun, and people do like that show. So I'm gonna be on it, and I'm gonna do other shows. I'm gonna be on all week, popping up on RAV, and we're excited to be a part of it. So we're also excited to continue this show on in the biggest, best way possible. And again, we've been all over the place a little bit, but we're digging in. We're doing the show in a routine. If we can't do it live, we're going to do it and give you a show every day. We're going to be consistent, okay? So the audience is very unforgiving on Rumble. Sometimes they go, oh, you disappear and you lose half your audience. It's like, guys, listen, we're back, okay? We're back. We've got a lot of things going, a lot of big announcements. We're walking the walk. We're talking the talk. We're talking the talk. We're walking the walk. And we're running the run, okay?
All right, Kevin. I didn't know he was here.
So, no, Kevin would say, we're rocking and rolling and rolling and rocking and rocking and rolling. And then Kevin over there at the rally, I'll just say this and then we'll get into the show. Kevin, unlike, that rally over the weekend in Tesla, is like telling everybody, like, he's like, I lost 40 pounds because, I just realized that, if you see something, you don't have to eat it. Really, pal? That's what you figured? Oh, is that the punchline you came up with? I love him. Kevin's lost 40. I've dropped 20. I have not. No prickles. Okay, no prickles, no jabs, no shots. Can't say that about everybody. I can't believe people would even imply that to me. Somebody said to me, "Oh, Mike, you do Ozempic." I go, "Are you kidding me?" I go, I've never even taken a flu shot in my life. Okay, let alone never taken a flu shot, let alone a COVID vaccine, let alone any vaccine in the modern era. A couple when I was little, but like nothing since. You think I'm taking Ozempic, which if you read the side effects of it is disgusting. It's like just have some willpower, okay? You don't need Ozempic. If you're like 600 pounds and you're on the verge of death, like okay, man, maybe you have no other option. But if you're in the 50 range, just don't eat. So. Yes, Kevin will be a guest. Yes, Kevin will be a guest on Last Call. We do like Kevin. Kevin is a good time. But I got to tell him, buddy.
He's going to have to watch that.
Sometimes we get a little vulgar.
Oh, yeah. Watch that language there.
Yeah. As Trump would say, he's got a nasty mouth. He's got a nasty mouth. So you can't be throwing the F-bombs and, the sexually explicit stuff. Again, he can have a little fun, but, it's called suggestive humor, okay? Not explicit humor. Do you understand the difference? We're on cable TV now. So All right, Kevin. So I'm sure he's totally watching right now. CMOS is the Ozempic of the sea. Interesting. CMOS, if you want to sponsor this show, hit me up. So, all right, good. Nobody in the chat takes the flu shot. That's a good thing.
Certainly not anymore.
All right, we're gonna get in the show.
Let's get back to it, huh? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, now. Let's get back into it. All right, so, okay, big show for you today. It's a big day. Wisconsin, everyone's going to the polls. It's April 1st. It's a massive election day. I think today's also Florida special election day, right, Frankie? Do you know that? Randy Fine?
Of course.
Yeah, today's the day. So, big day. Big day. I'll be honest with you. I'll be super honest. I'm rooting for Randy Fine. I think he's going to pull through. It's a massively Republican seat in that Florida special election that's replacing Mike Waltz, who won the seat by 20 points. Randy Fine, I think it's a lot of fodder for nothing. I still think he's going to win. I do think he's going to underperform a little bit. He doesn't seem, I'll just be honest, doesn't seem like the most likable figure. Okay, he needs to go on the crispy diet plan because you slim down, you become a little more likable. So Randy Fine, between that and like a little bit of his personality, I just think if Randy Fine spent the week with Mike Crispy, he would go up by like 10 points in the polls because he'd be a lot more likable. So, and a lot more fit. So I'm rooting for you, Randy. I want you to do good. But come up to Jersey, we'll spend a couple days together, and I will make you a lean, mean, globalist fighting machine, okay? Okay, Randy, when you win the Congress, because I hope you do win today, and he will win today. So, Randy Fine, the other race that's going on, the special election, is in Matt Gaetz' seat. That is, I believe, Jimmy Patronis is running for that seat. The Florida CFO, that's an elected position in Florida. And I think that's going to be kind of a rout. That's like an R plus 20 seat. So it's going to have no problem there. So I do think that Republicans are going to keep those 2 seats. Elise Stefanik obviously staying, so there's no special election there. So we're gonna pick up a seat because Walt obviously hasn't been in the seat; it's been a vacant seat. So our majority will improve by 1 seat today, which I think is a good thing. And then obviously we have the situation unfolding in the state of Wisconsin. But in the meantime, this is what the Democrats are talking about. This is what the Ivy League, cable news people are talking about. And this first clip that I want to show you today, I was actually watching this because I do watch MSNBC, so you don't have to. I think it's amazing that cable TV, right, that's like a gold standard, and then Yale, like the Ivy League institution, that's like a gold standard. And then I kind of was watching this clip and I just said, what a joke. I said, none of this is serious because Trump has now been in office for what, like 70 days, and has the fascism and the Hitlerism that they all said he would be ushering in, has that happened? I mean, lowering egg prices and trying to end foreign wars, and rolling back regulations and saving, the goal to save $1 trillion in tax dollars. Is that the fascism? Despite all that, the leftists still run segments like this. Ivy League, cable, it's laughable. Roll of Francis.
You cited the current political environment in this country as why you're leaving, why you're heading to Canada. Is it impeding you from teaching what and how you'd want to teach?
Oh, absolutely not. Yale has, to this extent, protected its scholars, unlike Columbia, who forced, for example, Catherine Frank, a prominent law professor, into early retirement. So it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with my children and my desire to send a warning to Americans that is consonant with the work I've been doing.
Yeah, it's like, come on. And the guy says it with a straight face. This guy is a Yale professor. Oh, I left the country and I'm going to teach remotely from now on. That's going to work good for me. And I did it for my kids to show them a lesson about fascism because I am a fascism expert.
What is this guy
You
going
know
to tell
what
his
fascism is?
Yeah, what is this guy going
Yeah.
to tell his kids when, they're 10 years older and they're like, hey, why do we have to leave all of our friends? That was because Trump was elected? We have to leave? Oh, okay. Okay, got it, Dad. I love you. Yeah,
Hopefully-
I love him.
Hopefully, and I'm only going to ever talk about this once because Frankie's going to be on pins and needles when I say it, but I just got to say it because I say everything that comes to my mind always. Sorry, Frankie, I'm just going to say it. And I don't have the clip because I said I didn't want to talk about it, but I have to because I have to say everything that comes to my mind. It's just how we do the show. It's like Tim Walz was talking.
Oh.
I can't help myself. Tim Walz was talking. And Tim Walz talking about people's kids. He got me going for Tim Walz goes, yeah, my son mocks me. Said, how did you get your ass kicked by Donald Trump? I said, wait a minute. His son, Gus, maybe, just maybe, we had something to do with Gus,
Dude,
I don't.
you just can't make it up.
We like Gus. Alpha Gus. Gus kind of like saw it all. You know what I think Gus did? I think Gus said, you know what, everyone, you know what, my dad really did lead me down a straight path. He does the weird clapping and the emotional. I need to be alpha. I should watch Trump more. Maybe Mike Crispy had a point. I don't know. So Gus now bullies his beta weirdo dad. And I always said there's nothing wrong with Gus Walz. I mean, the only thing that is that he was a chip off the old block. It was like his dad. The hand motions and so Gus is now mocking his dad. I like it.
We love it. Unbelievable.
We like Gus Walz. I extend the hand of friendship to Gus Walls, and I like to think maybe I had a 1% play in Gus's realization and his personal growth. You saw that clip, Frankie? Did
Yes.
you think of me?
Yes, of course I did, Mike, but I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want it to make it to the show. But here we are.
I mean,
I'm here for you. I'm protecting you, Mike.
Gus. Oh man. Maybe we'll have Gus on the show. I'll have him on the show. We'll bring him in
I'll reach
studio.
out. I'll reach out happily.
Frankie. We'll fly him in. I'll fly him in first class. I'll pay for it all. Kumbaya with Gus Walls. I mean, the rest of the Walls family endorsed Trump. All right, I'm like way off pace here today. Amazing. You got me going for it. You had to do it.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
talking
all
about
me.
the fascism in the last segment. And now, skipping ahead here, we want to talk about real fascism. It is the globalist left. It was amazing. I'm sure many people saw the news that came out in France that Marine Le Pen, who is essentially the leading conservative figure in the state of, or in the nation of France, extremely popular, almost won essentially Macron's seat twice. It basically, the leader, as Donald Trump is the leader of our movement, she's the leader of their movement, hasn't quite broken through, but they're making big gains in France. You see that they charged her, and they not only charged her and sentenced her, but then barred her from running again for 5 years as she was picking up unbelievable momentum from the first time to the second time. I said, that kind of reminds me of fascism, barring people from running for office in what's supposed to be a free nation of France. Trump was asked about it. I watched this live and I just went, ooh, that's good. Roll it.
Marine Le Pen, the far-right leader, got convicted in court and is now banned from running for office for 5 years. Do you have a comment about
That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. I know all about it, and a lot of people thought she wasn't going to be convicted of anything, and I don't know if it means conviction, but she was banned for running for 5 years, and she's the leading candidate. That sounds like this country. That sounds very much like this country.
It sounds like this country. It's amazing how I always say, what is a Mike Crispy very common line that I say? It starts in Australia, it's in Europe, and then they kind of creep it into America. So, they kind of went out of order because they do bar people from running for other office in other countries. And then they tried to do what they could clearly get away with in Europe. I mean, they literally just did it to Le Pen. They tried to do that to Trump, but they tried to do it through other means because you can't, the Constitution states you could be in a jail cell and run for office in America. That's the beauty of our country. But the voters decide. But they tried to do it through other means, getting him not to be able to run, getting him kicked off the ballot. I mean, we saw the charades. But they tried to do that to Trump. It failed. But when they don't want the, nationalism to spread in Europe, they literally just charge, convict, and then ban. And they did it to Le Pen. That's fascism right there. That's what we continue to be up against every single day. And today in the great state of Wisconsin, it's not over. It's only just beginning. I say this to all Americans, and I don't know how many people from Wisconsin watch the show or how many people who watch the show who know people from Wisconsin. But today's a big day in Wisconsin, and a lot of people are probably happy in Wisconsin. You voted for Trump. That's amazing. You feel good about it. But you got to vote today. You got to vote today. You just got to vote. There is a state Supreme Court election and some ballot measure questions. It's low turnout. And in low turnout, money wins. Unless you totally overpower the message with, what we got to get out there. They are dumping in 10x the amount of money in this race. Through the Act Blue, through the Soros money. It's crazy. And you can see there, in this Wisconsin State Supreme Court election, the polls are tight. Final poll is the Democrat up 5 points. Again, Trump won Wisconsin. If the Trump voters come out, we're in good shape. So we need people in Wisconsin to show up. Because this judge has promised, this activist judge, in the next segment, we're going to talk about activist judges. Why it's so important now. People say, oh, vote for a judge. What does that matter? You're seeing why it matters. It's a neck and neck race there.
Can I just
But we're
say,
down. Yes, Frank.
at what point can we stop with the special elections? Because can we get can we get something? It's enough. Things are complicated enough as it is. The special elections, this state, that state. I'm done with it. Just an opinion. I'm sick of it. Why?
Frankie's fed up with the Constitution. No, just kidding. April Fools. No, you're right, Frankie. It's a process. It is unbelievable how civically illiterate most voters are, that the concept of exercising their very sacred constitutional right to vote is taken for such grantedness, if that's a word, that they don't even have the awareness that, like, yeah, it's just a random day, but, like, it's a really important election. It's kind of like almost a sad state of affairs, Frankie, because there are other countries where, like, they die to vote. Like, with us, we're like, oh, damn, they spent $30 million. We've only spent $5 million. We got to, like, boost it up more so people actually remember to go vote.
Yeah.
And they do this on purpose. They want to dumb down our society. I mean, that's an obvious thing. It's like they want to dumb down society so people are just kind of like, vegetables. And that's the genius and the beauty of, like, everything that's been our movement over the last couple of years, that we have broken through that. Like Trump himself has broken through that and cracked the code. But we got to crack the code on stuff like this. Frankie's absolutely right. Are we ever going to get rid of special elections? Probably not. But do we have a fundamental problem in this country about people's grasp on civics? We do. Here's President Trump weighing in on today. It's not just about the judge situation. We talked about that yesterday on the show in length. But it's also a ballot question. Very important. Question 1, ballot referendum. There is a very important referendum on the April 1st ballot to amend the state constitution to require voter ID. This and other election integrity measures, including banning drop boxes, same-day voting with paper ballots, can only happen if you get out and vote. That is today. For state Supreme Court, make sure to vote for Brad Schmau against Susan Crawford, a radical left. It just sounds like a liberal, Susan Crawford, a radical left liberal with a history of letting child molesters and rapists off easily. She'll be one of the most liberal judges ever elected, which would be a disaster for Wisconsin and the United States of America. So important. Please get out and vote yes on question 1 and vote for Brad Schmel to the Supreme Court April 1st. Make America great again. So you want the voting on the same day. You want the paper ballots. You want this stuff. Everyone always says to me, I remember leading up to the election, Frankie, how do we beat the fraud? How do we do this? How do we do that? It's like everyone always talks about it. And like now you can go do it. You can go snatch victory out of the rabies-infested jaws of leftist anger and the real fascism and Marxism. You can snatch it. Take it back. You gotta go vote. Gotta do it. It's crazy to me, Frankie, that like people like, not every single Trump voter would not turn out.
Yeah, I mean, it's, people are,
Gotta do it.
People are so in tune with the presidential elections, and it's like, it's just the fact of the matter. It's like, it's hard to get to people, it's hard. Not everyone's watching the news right now, and it's hard. So I'm hoping that, the people that in Wisconsin responsible for the Republican Party and getting this message out, I'm praying that it works. And we got our boy Elon too. A little cash. Doesn't hurt.
Well, our boy Elon has been doing a good job. He obviously had that town hall in Green Bay, and he's working it. So, when we win today, which I hope and pray we do, and I think we will, we can thank President Trump and Elon Musk for this. But there you go. Activist judges. This is a stand. Activist judges. We're doing our small part. Tell people, activist judges, they're done. It ends today. It's a line in the sand. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with so much more. Do not go anywhere.
Great show today. And, for people wondering, no, we didn't have any tequila today. Not before the show, no. But vibes are good, huh?
No. It is actually kind of funny. You know why I feel good? We got everything. We're pretty much set in here. In these studios. The new studio is pretty set. I'm looking good on camera. We got the new show rolling out. We're rolling. We're rolling.
Oh, we're
Momentum
rolling.
is high. So I want to tell you guys about our sponsors that are making all of this possible. And sponsors that are making all of this possible are our good friends on over, first and foremost, at iTarget Pro. Guys, iTarget Pro is back. They are amazing. And if you don't have an iTarget Pro, it really is one of the greatest gifts that you could buy for anybody in your family for any occasion. I mean, iTarget Pro is awesome, okay? It is a laser firearm home training system that you are able to train with your firearm in the comfort of your home. You get the laser bullet, Frankie, you get the little video. Laser bullet that loads into the chamber. It dry fires into the target or into these cubes. The app tracks it in real time, okay? And you are able to train day in and day out in a super fast way. Don't spend money on ammo, okay? And listen, you guys know police response times are higher than ever before because the illegals continue to flood into our cities and everything like that. We're trying to deport them, but it's going to take some time. You got to be able to protect yourself. You got to be able to save money on the ammo, and you got to be able to get your family all trained up on it. iTarget is just the best place to go. So it's not even an ad, it's a PSA. So guys, go to itargetpro.com and use that promo code CRISPY for 10% off your order. You'll be so glad you did, and you'll get a really amazing product, and we're so excited to have them back as a sponsor on this show and on our new show on RAV. So iTarget Pro, go support them. We need a big muff. So keep them with us. We love them. iTarget Pro. All right, Frankie, how we doing?
Fantastic. Clicking buttons. I do
right.
it the best.
We're
On
clicking.
it.
We're
Ready to rock? Okay.
Click clack.
Click clack.
Let's talk about our friends at Over at OFP Farms for a minute. Guys, one more announcement. Our friends at Over at OFP Farms. Guys, head over to ofpfarms.com right now and use promo code CRISPY for 15% off your order today, okay? OFP Farms, if you're not familiar with it, and you should be familiar with it, if you're not, I'm kind of disappointed. It is the original Maha, okay? What's the biggest organ in your body? Your skin, your epidermis, okay? Are you taking good care of it? Are you rubbing chemically concocted shit all over yourself? That's not good, okay? It's not good. It's absorbing into your body. You need the healthiest solution possible. Guys, that is OFP Farms. So guys, ofpfarms.com is where you can get soaps, lotions, lip balms, beard products, magnesium-based, is that what it is? Magnesium-based? Pain
Correct.
relief products. Absolutely phenomenal. The best. All natural, made with love, in the United States of America, with the main ingredient of all this stuff being goat milk. Okay, the soap has tallow in it. Goat milk and tallow. You'll feel amazing. It'll have your skin vibrating like mine off the screen right now. OFP Farms is the site. And the promo code is CRISPY. And the discount is 15% off. And the lip balm tastes amazing. People are sounding off on their favorite flavors. T. Mitchell says, I like the cantaloupe. I like the peach cobbler.
I just
What's yours,
opened
Frankie?
up the cantaloupe, and I love it. Not my favorite, but I love it. It's incredible. I mean, it's been how many months since we've been with them? I mean, I'm still finding new flavors, and it's changing my life. So buy some new ones. Find the ones you haven't tried yet, because your favorite you might not know about yet. You're going to find it. You think you got a favorite? Daily Grind was mine. Just wait. Check them out. That's what I got.
I love that. Love that. So we appreciate it, Frankie, and everybody else who makes this possible. Frankie, why don't you say hello to the chat for uno momento, buddy?
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Team Mitchell, really, really great lip balm. Cantaloupe lip balm. Got it. Okay, I'll check that out. I had a soap that smelled like cantaloupe. Maybe it's a different flavor, but it's a new one. I didn't look at the name. What else we got? Sissy Mouse, good morning. Lavender vanilla lotion I love the lavender vanilla, and then there's the other one, I forget the cherry one, and it basically, if you've ever had a beautiful Italian cookie, it smells like an Italian sweet cookie, and it's like it brings me back to like being a child, and it's incredible. It's like the best. I put it on. I'm like, I'm so moisturized, but then I'm hungry because I want cookies that don't exist because it just smells that good. Jerry Almond. Thank you, Robbie Sunshine.
We can't eat cookies. We're Maha. We're doing Maha, Frankie. We're doing Maha. So, we're doing the Maha, and great job, Frankie. I had to text our former landlord of the other property. Nobody messes with Mike Crispy. So
they haggle those ones,
but that's all right. Yeah, you're not gonna haggle me, okay? We got a good lawyer. We got Giancarlo, so don't give me a hard time. So, all right, Frankie, let's roll right back into it.
We're gonna roll back into it, and hey, Log, I see you. We'll get on the phone sometime soon. Promise. On in 5, 4, 3, 2, and action.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispy here. Now, we have talked in the last segment about activist judges. Okay, obviously, today's election in the state of Wisconsin hopefully is a referendum on activist judges and everything that kind of goes along with it. Legislating from the bench, which is not something that the founding fathers ever intended. You're supposed to have 3 separate branches of government, and there's a little rule of thumb that judges they don't get put in their position to make the law, which is what's going on. They're making the law as it goes along. This happens at the state level. It happens in New Jersey, quite frankly. Them passing things saying, "Oh, you have to do this, you have to do that." How does the state have that authority? Or the state judges have that authority? How do the activist judges have the authority to block measures that involve imminent national security? And how have we found ourselves in a country where judges are actively thwarting people being safe? Here's Tom Homan on Fox yesterday with a very alarming news segment. Roll it.
Making a stupid ruling. It just doesn't make sense. I've been around since 1984, Lawrence, and a TPS, temporary protected status, is never temporary. And President Trump is going to do his job by the rule of law. The law says temporary status. Once the conditions in that country they're from, once the conditions change, then people should be removed from the United States. It's only a temporary status. For instance, if there's a hurricane and it devastates a part of a country, we'll give them TPS until that country gets back on their feet. But TPS isn't meant to be decades long. So President Trump, who's promised American people, we're going to enforce the laws enacted by Congress and signed by the president. We're going to use the laws of this country to secure the border and enforce our immigration law. That's exactly what we're doing. TPS needs to be temporary in nature. We need to follow the rule of law and not some advice from an activist judge who makes a foolish ruling, not based on law, but based on opinion. If you look at that decision, it's based on opinion, not the rule of law, and that's what we need to get back to. So look, we'll litigate it, and we'll appeal it, and we'll win.
I think at this point, it needs to be that, any activist judge that makes an activist judge ruling, again, some of these judges, Frankie, it's supposed to be randomized, but they keep getting selected, right, to hear matters related to the Trump administration. What they want Trump to do is, it's a very clear-cut matter of national security, life or death, things that are totally not the purview of the judges. But Frankie, the headline that they want. Again, the left is so obvious with what they want. You could see it coming a mile away. What they want is they want Trump to defy the judge and then them to say, he's a fascist. He's defying the rule of a judge.
Impeach.
We have 3 equal branches of government. Yeah, impeach. That's what they want. That's what they want. Again, not the fact that the judge is totally doing the wrong thing, but this is a very common tactic. You punch. A leftist punches, you counterpunch, you land the counterpunch blow, you're 100% right, and then they go, oh, he punched me. He's attacking, he's crazy. That's what they do, Frankie, and that is the game plan here. The judges are activist judges and not genuine. Just look at this clip, yet another example of the way the judges are particularly going after the people in our country right now, our men and women in ICE and in law enforcement who have the hardest job, and that is undoing the shitstorm that Biden has created by letting millions of savage illegals into our country. Listen to what the judges are doing against are men and women in law enforcement. Roll, Frank.
It was a tense and unusual day in court as an assistant district attorney took the stand for questioning. This comes after Wilson Martell LeBron was arrested last Thursday outside of here by ICE agents, even before his trial was over. Where were you taking him? New video obtained from defense attorney Murat Erkan showing the aftermath of his client Wilson Martell LeBron after ICE agents took him away last Thursday. Erkan says LeBron was leaving court for day one of his jury trial, where he faced charges for providing false information on his license application. Judge Mark Somerville called an emergency hearing at Boston Municipal Court last Friday, where 2 state troopers were cross-examined. That continued Monday with an assistant district attorney for Suffolk County taking the stand about what information he knew prior to ICE agents apprehending LeBron in the middle of the trial. More prosecutors were supposed to be cross-examined, but Judge Somerville cut that short.
It's a case of violating the defendant's right to be present at trial and confront witnesses against him. Couldn't be more serious.
Ultimately dismissing the case because of prosecutorial misconduct, pointing out that he doesn't believe the assistant district attorneys took part in the removal of LeBron. He says 2 state troopers and ICE agent Brian Sullivan were to blame, finding Sullivan in contempt of court.
Oh, so you're in contempt of court. It's a very simple thing. I think most people would agree with. If you are an illegal in the country, you have no right to anything involving anything related to our judicial or court system. It is the most fundamental difference between, I think, in 2025, the most fundamental difference, the Rubicon for like if you are a normal American at this point, or if you are just a psychopathic, too far gone leftist, is if you step foot on the country's land, do you have constitutional rights? If you are Tren de Aragua, MS-13, you step foot in the land, you're here illegally, you step foot in the land, you have constitutional rights. I don't believe you do. I do not believe the interpretation of the Constitution ever spells that out. But that is the particular thing they bastardize, and a judge who goes that way and then goes after the ICE agent, it's unbelievable. Yes, Frank.
Yeah, and it's just like, you look back at time after 9/11, maybe there were some people that were caught, Islamic extremists. Some of them may have actually been Islamic extremists. Many of them radicalized by our own government, right? Those people, the way that they treated, the Middle East just because we were bombed by possibly our own country, who knows? Won't get into that. But there was like this excuse that like it didn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is national security. This is national security. Doesn't matter. These are terrorists. He's done all the right things. He's called it an invasion, this and that, Alien Enemies Act of this and that. Who cares? Done. Get him out. What argument? If this lasts another month, I'm going towards the side of F it. Do what you want.
Do what you want. I think the public would. If President Trump came up and from the Oval Office gave an address to the country, like they do like the Oval Office address, when it cuts into everything.
It should actually
if he does
every
an Oval
single
Office address and just,
Mike. Yeah. Every single if you're watching Nickelodeon, anything it cuts like emergency freaking stations turned on. Screw it. Go all out. Emergency stations. Everything gets cut out. This is what's happening. Done. I'm heated.
Completely agree. I think if he did that and he looked in front of the camera and said, listen, this is what's going on. They are going to accuse me of saying that I am defying the judicial and whatever. But when you have criminal, savage illegals in this country, which you voted for me to get out of the country swiftly, and you have a very blatant instance, of the judges protecting them, we can't let that stand. We're going to do it anyway, and we're letting you know we're doing it. This is a national state of emergency. FAFO. Sorry. And more people need to do what Andy Biggs is doing right now in Congress, who's running for governor of Arizona, by the way. We'll lose a very good one in Congress. We cannot stand by while activist judges who incorrectly believe they have more authority than the duly elected president of the United States impose their own political agenda on the American people. It's almost amazing how they have the audacity, Frankie. I mean, it's amazing how these judges
read it.
That's how mental they are. They have the audacity to go, I got more than the president. I have co-sponsored a resolution to impeach Judge Boasberg. His removal from office via impeachment, however, will undoubtedly be blocked by Democrats in the Senate, since it has required a 2/3 majority. My resolution, on the other hand, asserts, pursuant to the Article 3, Section 1, that rogue judges may be removed the same way we confirm them, by a simple majority. Judge Boasberg abused his judicial authority for political gain and is not in compliance with the constitutional good behavior clause. He must not be permitted to remain in his position. Congress has a duty to fulfill the promises we made to the American people, including defending the president's authority to enforce our laws.
Boom.
Every single member in Congress right now needs to get on with what Andy Biggs is saying right there. Every single one. It is a simple litmus test for the House right now. Simple litmus test. Oh, Mike, they're just, they're just fighting over the issue with the illegals, and there's the constitutionality, and there's this, and it's all BS. They're doing it in every facet. Matters and implications on national security. Put this up, Frankie. The Ninth Circuit, more activist judge behavior, just blocked President Trump from removing transgender troops from the military after they are medically disqualified. They try to take away his deportation authority. And now they're trying to take away his authority as the commander. I mean, literally, it's in his title, Frankie. The commander-in-chief. He goes, you know what? These people are medically disqualified from doing one of the most important functions on the planet, and that is serving in our military, having able-bodied people who are mentally and physically capable. And it is an objective fact that if you are a tranny, you are not mentally nor physically at the same level. You have been chemically altered. You have some problems mentally. It's just reality. I'm sorry. It's reality. Trump says they're disqualified. As the commander-in-chief, which he has the duly elected authority to do those things, the judge blocks it. Yes, Frank.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not surprised. This is the party of lawfare. So I'm not surprised. They tried to kill the freaking guy. They tried to put him away for life. They tried to take every dollar away from him. I'm not surprised. They're sick. That's it. I'm just mad.
They're absolutely sickening. No, it's absolutely sick. So I believe that at this point, you got to just breeze right past it. You got to breeze right past it. You got to say we don't care. Trump should talk about that in his Oval Office address too, don't you think? Yeah, it's like I'm trying to protect our country. Like they're telling me what troops I can and cannot have in the military. They're telling me that I can't deport savage criminals.
You're telling me that half the budget of the military has to go to tranny operations? Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah. I can't shut down taxpayer-funded facility in Texas, paid for with the government budget, to do sex changes so all the trannies enlist in the military so they can get a free sex change. Yeah, no, I don't think so. It is disgusting. So disgusting. But this is why, again, we're going to circle back. This is why the election today in Wisconsin matters so much. All right, quick break. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Dishing. Let's go.
Oh man, what a fun show! What a fun show, Frankie.
It.
So we are making it happen today, and I love you all very much. I love our chat. I love what we have going on here, and I love the fact that we have amazing people day in and day out. We're done with the sponsors, right? We did our sponsors. No break court today, but we appreciate everybody who is making all this possible. We got some new people that I haven't seen. I want to give some shout outs. We got Suze Maga. Hey, Mike and Frankie, I thought you were coming back to LFA. What's the latest? Obviously, we're going to be here every day. No, nothing personal about LFA, but, the announcement is we're going to be here every single day, Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock. And then on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays on Real America's Voice TV. We got Kit Kat Mar. Great to see you again. Parish Place. Liberty, 12754. One of my favorite ones. They will impeach Trump as soon as they steal the House. That is why we can never let them steal the House. That's why these elections count big time. Alex Ann says the judges are easily bought off. They are owned by Soros and company, and he calls it a favor. That's totally true. There's many, many judges that are brought off. Hey, Frankie, maybe it's time for a cauliflower crust pizza.
I saw
says
that one.
Sissy Mouse. Whoa,
You know, it's
whoa,
like
whoa.
I had mentioned
cauliflower crust
Well, you know,
pizza.
because I had mentioned that I've given up bread for Lent, and listen, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I can't even see the word pizza, so don't even write it to me. I can't see it. I miss pizza so much. There's not really a word for it, and bread in general. But I can't even. You know, cauliflower.
Pizza.
It's not the same.
I like listen. I'm gonna tell you.
Cauliflower's nice. You can make it.
cauliflower crust
You can
pizza.
make it taste. You know, cauliflower can just take on the taste of anything that you make it. So it's nice in that sense. But you know, it ain't pizza. It ain't pizza. Now we're talking about
I haven't
pizza.
had cauliflower
I'm
crust
hungry.
pizza, and yeah. I like chickpea pasta. It's not as good. Chickpea pasta is not as good. Sometimes if I'm dieting. But I will say the cauliflower crust pizza, if you do it right, it tastes kind of good. So, you know, the Italian community will scorn me for that. I get it. You know, but hey, president of the ICRL, so what I say goes. Just kidding.
Log, you're never happy.
Frankie, we'll have a cauliflower crust
Log, you always
pizza party.
need something
Log's
from
never
us.
happy.
Can't you just enjoy the show? Is that so much to ask? Crispy's a busy man. I didn't speak to him for 4 days, all right? He doesn't have time for the X messaging. I promise. Love you.
Is he messaging me on X?
I don't know. He wrote in the chat. He said, please answer. Or can you message? I don't know. All right. We're rolling. Parish
Hold on 1
Palace.
second, Frank. Do one more chat.
Parish
Frankie.
Place, 52. Team Mitchell, love ya. Log, love ya. You know I'm just messing. Vintage, my fave. You're all my fave. I won't say that. More Tesla protests this weekend. We're showing up.
Frankie,
again.
have you met Vintage?
I did not. I've never met a fan of anything.
Wow.
I've never met a fan.
No, you met a fan at least once.
No, never. Not a once. One day.
Frankie does not. One day we're going to do an event with Frankie. One day we're going to get him out of his lair.
Cheers to
It's
that.
his lair. We won't call it his lair, his bunker.
I don't think
where he makes
is
the
Mike
magic
gonna make
happen.
it through the episode, guys. I don't know. All right.
Store-bought cauliflower pizza tastes like an old carpet. Well, I mean, you don't get it from a store. You get it from a good pizzeria. There's a good pizzeria, actually, no free promos, but there's a place in Hoboken that makes really good cauliflower crust pizza. I'll get the name of it. But anyway, all right, we'll get back to it, Frankie. Let's do it.
Again, I'm hungry. I don't want to talk about it. On in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispy here, coming to you live from New York. Tune Up Tuesday, April 1st. April Fool's Day. No joke, as Joe Biden would say. How about the acquisition of Greenland? No joke. We didn't talk about this yesterday, but over the weekend, J.D. Vance went to Greenland, and we continue our march towards taking Greenland as ours. Now, again, people laughed at Alaska when we were taking Alaska as ours, and world leaders dismissed the Greenland thing. However, Greenland obviously has national security implications. It has many implications for our economy. They have a vast swath of natural resources and minerals and things that would help our country. So why would Denmark get it when they do nothing for the people of Greenland and we spend all the money to defend it from the Chinese who are trying to put their influence in it? Why would we do that? We should take it. Anybody who supports America would say that kind of plainly. Again, it's like it's a very pro-America unifying thing. If you're a Democrat or a Republican who care about America, you would say, yeah, we should probably have Greenland. And Trump's pretty smart for bringing it up. Why would we spend billions of dollars to defend it, get nothing from it? It belongs to Denmark, who does nothing for it. The people want to be part of us. And then our biggest adversaries are setting up shop there, potentially against us. Does it make any sense to any rational person? Come on. So Vance goes there over the weekend. It's now the second trip that I think the Trump administration has made up there. So we're serious about it. And I think we're going to get it. You know, it's funny, Vladimir Putin was talking. Did you see this clip, Frankie, of Putin talking about it? I saw this clip, and it was all in Russian, so I didn't put it in the show. But Putin's talking about taking, the United States, and he says, listen, he says, I understand why they would want to do that. People like, it's not a joke. Like, Trump isn't stupid. It's actually, very smart. They said that about Alaska, and they got Alaska, and Alaska obviously, buttresses right up against Russia. So he's like, yeah, it's kind of smart, actually.
Yeah. What if
he acknowledged that? I'd rather somebody acknowledge reality, okay? The reality is that it's a smart move. Oh, you're being a Putin puppet. How are we being a Putin puppet? How's there a Putin puppetry in that? Like, you're being a Putin puppet by saying that because Putin says it's smart for Trump to do it. It's actually stupid for Trump to do it because it's bad to acquire, an economic, mineral-rich country and, a matter of national defense. And if you're paying all the money, well, then, no, you shouldn't get it. You're a Putin puppet to say that we shouldn't keep funding it and get nothing in return for it. Yeah. That's what Chris Coons in the modern Democrat Party, the moderate wing of the Democrat Party, wants you to believe. Here is Coons yesterday on CNN talking about it. Roll it.
Look, your average Trump voter laughs at us and says he's owning the libs. And your average middle American says, why are you wasting your time worrying about Greenland? I can't even find it on a map.
Oh, you can't find it on a map?
Ah. They play. First of all, Greenland is extremely findable on a map because it's all white. And it's huge. And it's right there next to Canada. Like, we know exactly where it is. Everyone knows where it is. But that is the lowest common denominator. Like, Coons doesn't believe that. That is a poll-tested, formulated thing. Oh, you can't even find it on a map. It's so stupid. It's wasting our money to try to... Oh, it's findable enough on a map to spend billions of dollars to go defend. Ukraine is findable on a map enough to go send $350 billion to go defend. All of a sudden, Coons is concerned with America's, ability to find things on maps. Yes, Frankie.
Yeah, so just on this whole thing. So let's go over it. So Alaska was purchased 1867, right? And let's just put it this way. If we didn't have Alaska, that would be that one land that basically we're connected to Russia. And, up until, I just looked it up, 1954. Up until 1954, wow, that was a very important thing, and I'll explain. 1954 was when submarines acquired the ability to hold nuclear warheads on them, okay? Why is this important? Because up until that moment, Russia has had the opportunity to bomb us at any point with just a missile straight overhead. And if Russia actually were able to acquire Alaska, they would have literally been right there, pointing missiles right at us, ready to go. Now it doesn't matter as much because you could just send a submarine right off the international coast of New York and, you could launch off a nuke from a submarine. But up until that moment, people just made jokes about it. It's like that literally protected us from getting nuked. So to look at Greenland like, oh, who cares? You can't find it on a map. It's like, oh. Yeah. Okay, mister.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't care about geopolitical anything. Aren't you in Congress? I'm just confused. I'm confused.
It is. It just perfectly encapsulates just like it's what they're told to say because it's what they believe about their voters. Like they're really dumb and they want to oh yeah, you can't even name it on the map. Why is he going after it? It's a waste of our time and money. So you want the country to be weaker and poorer and keep giving the money for nothing and, keep putting ourselves at risk of the Chinese. Same thing with the Panama Canal. So there you go. Perfectly encapsulates it. All right, guys, despite all the time that we have on the show today, you guys know we do this broadcast. We keep it America first. We keep it bold. We always keep it on a frame. And you better believe we're just getting started. We're having a big week shaping up. We're going to have a big weekend. Like Chris Beebe, 6 days a week now. I mean, come on. You can't me and Frankie, we're everywhere. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We love you all. See you back live tomorrow. Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. To make matters worse, it's highly unlikely your blood circulation will correct itself on its own, which means your health issues will only continue to decline as you age. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution for your pain. It's only a temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Right now, you can go to getkrill.com/unafraid to learn how to get a special free shipping offer just for being a listener of this show. New research proves there's a potent deep sea nutrient tucked away 73 miles off the Antarctic coast, which is the key to improving your blood circulation. Researchers are saying that this Antarctic super nutrient, if you add it to your diet, is phenomenal. It has omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. The benefits go on and on. In fact, some people report it outperforms name brand pain relievers. And it doesn't even have dangerous side effects that things like ibuprofen does. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to getkrill.com/unafraid right now to get your special offer. That's getkrill.com/unafraid. GETKRILL.com/unafraid to get your special offer. Thank you for tuning in. Hey everybody, Mike Crispy here, and I am going to tell you about the smart money strategy. Warren Buffett just invested over $50 billion in energy. Billionaire Ken